He'll drown. Oh God, if he drowns, no. I just thought about that. This is a K-drama. No, please, don't tell me he jumped off and drowned. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to When Life Gives You Tangerines. We are now on to episode 3, which is called Yesterday Was Your Spring. So interesting, the first episode was called Spring in a Heartbeat, and now this one's saying Yesterday Was Your Spring. So I wonder if we're going to tie back into some of the past here of our girl A-Sun. But yeah, last episode was interesting. We basically progressed a little further into A-Sun's life to the point where unfortunately she felt like there was nobody in her corner. Her stepfather threw her out. Her father's family is still continuing to isolate her. And she was at a point where she was no longer kind of legally obligated to be taken care of by either of them. And so she decided that she wanted to move to the big city and she wanted any help she could get from Guanxik. But Guanxik, of course, did not like the idea of being away from her, but also for her going by herself. So he decided to go with her. So the two of them decided to stow away and make their way to Busan. But they discovered the hard way that the big city is a big pond and they are little fish and there's a lot to learn. So we ended the episode with them trying to get their money or at least get some type of compensation back after they'd been robbed, and we'll have to see how that turns out for them. And in the meantime, we see that Guanxik's mom is in fact looking for them. She knows that they headed to Busan, but she's not sure where exactly they are. So I'm ready to jump into this episode and see what's what. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And also a reminder that you can watch full uncut versions of me reacting to this show on my Patreon right now. Head on over there if you'd like to watch along. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Ah, damn. They got caught by the coppers. I guess that was kind of inevitable. Period. Oh, it's so obvious. Exactly. He's like, this is cute.
지금 점잖게 보호자 기다리고 있는 거예요. 그니까요. 때리지 마요.
Period. Oh, exactly. That was beautiful.
제주서 윤신덕이하고 김우진이가 같은데.
Maybe a little bit.
야가 호남.
This was Vixen-like.
야가 여시.
Rude. She's gonna hit you. You know that, right?
엄마.
Oh, poor boy. He's never been away from home one day. She's gonna hit you.
내 거는. 내 폐물은.
It was stolen.
진짜 한다 진짜. 결혼기념일이 뭐라고 맨날 이러는.
Oh, really? I just saw this yesterday. Interesting.
먼저 본 폐물도 잘 치셨다 이거. 근데 저번 여름에도 결혼기념일이라 카드.
Right? How many times do you have anniversaries and birthdays per year?
그때도 혜숙이 아버지가 금팔찌 해줬다 이거.
She's like, I know you're a crook, so let's stop the lies.
11반 내가 받아내고 있는 거라.
아닙니다. 저 다음에 올게요.
Good. Chase away every last God in heaven customer she'll have. Make sure you don't make another dime.
너 제주에 왜 도둑이 없는 줄 알아?
와,
Because
뭐 제주 인심도 지기 주나.
뺏긴 놈이 아니라 훔쳐간 놈이 질려서 미쳐 돌아갈 때까지 씨를 말려.
That's right. The righteous don't get tired.
아,
That's right. Take your shoes off. And every person that comes in, you're going to hear what a thief they are.
대갈박이 깨구리가.
어째 끼고 금개구리 쫓겨야지.
Nah.
늦었어.
Your daughter already gave you up.
금은방 또 와갔는겨.
Exactly. Oh, closing the... Wow, he just sold you out, ma'am. He said we're divorced. Oh, this is the 10th time. I'm glad that the jewelry store owner definitely called her in. Good. He loves her so much. He's just like, anyways, have fun in jail. Should have headbutt her harder.
그 가방에 있던 게 단지.
Baby, don't get in this conversation.
예술로 집에 가자.
I guess she knows. I guess she knows that if her son was willing to do all this, she may as well take your ass home. She's like, if my son is willing to literally do all this, I might as well bring this girl home. At least I know his butt will be home safe.
남의 집 장소는 왜 주저앉혀?
She didn't make him come. I'm so sick of this narrative that she's the one dragging this man tooth and like
쟤도 8반 시인이잖아.
everyone has been watching this boy stalk her for the last 10 years.
하셨대?
I'm sorry, honey. Never feels good to feel like you're burdening people. Oh, they expelled her.
가문의 똥출도 이런 똥출이 또 있느냐고.
정부는 금치랬냐?
Thank you.
그놈의 새끼는 뭘 하든.
Oh, that's true. Oh!
너는 너만 중하나? 너만 중해? 내가 조사님 면전에.
내가 결혼하지. 조상님이 결혼하는 거 아니야.
Let him know! One thing about Guan Shiki and a coward.
양반집에서 주액게 나온 꼴통이들이 누가 되리라? 응?
Noble. Noble how?
야밤도주 하실 때 졸업장 송달 받을 생각하셨어?
Yeah, unfortunately. I had a feeling he didn't know.
오해순이 대단한 연애 한판 하셨네. 어? 야밤도주 한판에 18자로 홀라당 다 말하자 싶어.
They weren't eloping exactly.
아이고 축하해요.
Yeah.
근데 왜 얘만 퇴학이래요?
중졸은
It's unfair.
몰라서 물어? 둘이
poor.
똑같이 붙어 놀아도 사내치기는 허걸지시고.
Thank you. Unfortunately, that is the truth of the world.
내가 가졌어.
It was her idea, but he didn't know, and she didn't know.
애순이를 파내야지. 부디게 붙었다고 초가상담 불사질러? 남의 새끼를 왜 건드려요?
Wow.
내 새끼가 더
The way
빨갛다.
everyone's piling up on A-Sun is disgusting.
부대기로 꼬시지. 살살 구슬러야지 아프지. 쫓으면 천리만이 더 토낀다고.
She's not wrong.
밥은 좀 먹기는
What is his
했어?
mother up to? I feel like she's gonna try to convince A-Sun to leave her son.
전폐했어요?
아유 걔가 그러려니? 관식이 아버지가 쌀 한 짜가리 주지 말래.
Mom's the manipulator.
나도 이 징글징글한 양간에 시집와서 여적지
She's
발등집
not 100% lying about this part.
저도 종종 가다 양배추 줬는데.
Right? She did try.
지 관식이 아버지는 천륜 끊고 살 마음까지 딱 잡수셨더라. 아이고
아이고.
한때는 나도 미쳐 돌아가 야반도주 했다마는 응?
Well,
어디
you were
죽을
pregnant. There wasn't a whole lot of options for you.
뭐 하나 여쭤볼 게 있는데요.
What? What are we asking?
숟가락 없다고 안 굶겨요.
네 집은? 네 집선 통과래? 너
Why
천우보살
are you trying to block her blessings, bro? You don't want her?
애순이 나랑 살지 할머니랑 살러 오는 거 아니에요. 제가 못 건들게 책임져요.
아이 그래서 뭐
So
분가라도 하게?
steadfast.
네가 뭔데? 뭔데 날 책임져? 흠난 생선 떨이에 가냐?
애순이를 매주랑 재워요?
안 해. 내가 가나 안 가나 봐봐.
that dramatic speech just to go back into the closet. A-Sun girl, why are you like this?
저는 일단 그 대목에서 오해순 씨는 통과라고 했어요.
Oh, she's gonna work as a nanny? It's not a bad job as long as he doesn't try any funny business.
저는
Oh,
거의 서울 놈이에요.
is this like marriage?
있는 짓서 해방 직후로 유학 보내 서울 교육 다 시켰으니까요.
Oh, don't sell yourself into marriage.
여차 오늘 오냐?
Maybe we don't want to marry this man. It's not worth it, sweetheart.
또 죄랄 순 없으니까.
Straight up sugar cubes, bro?
오늘 콜라 먹고 나왔어요.
Oh, did you? No one wants to marry your ass. I can tell you already.
사는 놈이 그까지 흠 죽어도 못 품을 것도 아니고.
Huh.
배가 있대너더라. 아이, 딸랑 한 척도 아니고.
Yeah, he looks like he's an abuser. Don't do it, ma'am. I can already tell. Your life will be miserable. It ain't worth it.
10년 안 잡으면 가급적 또 대학도 보내줘.
Within 10 years, yeah, maybe after you have, what, 4 more of his kids? No thanks.
그냥 내 팔자가 식문가 봐요. 나 이렇게 시집 간다고 우나 봐.
I think your mom just wanted you to be happy, sweetheart. Or at least take care of yourself. And unfortunately, we don't always have the choices that would make us the happiest. At this point, you need to survive.
너 구탄답시고 너네 집구석 홍구녕냐고 나낼 거 없죠?
Tell her.
했으니 그 뒤로 시집 가.
Complete and utter hypocrite.
양심적으로 흰 드레스라는 것도 본디 초혼만 입는
So
거고.
it's her first wedding?
양장에다 사진이나 찍고 말자고.
Wow. You're just basically saying she ain't worth nothing. Just your workhorse.
내가 개인적으로 좀 궁금해서 그런데
Keep it cute. Keep it cute.
부산 말이야.
About Busan.
레싱이를 왜 거기다 줘요? 신성일이가 걔를
Oh,
왜
so
달라고
much.
했냐?
You might be surprised.
썰로 치워요.
He doesn't care. That man's never cared about anything but himself.
걔처럼 똑똑하고 잘 떠들고 귀염상인 애를
Tell them.
생 작은 아빠보다도 내가 난데 왜 껴다요? 얘들 뭐 어쩌라고? 콧대를 엮어주래? 양관식이한테 시집가라고 애쓰니
I mean, she did say she didn't want to marry you.
욕심나면 한 발짝도 발 안 떼는 거를 억지로 바깔게 할 재주가 있나?
Stop calling her a cow,
네
please.
어망한테가 물어봐라.
Yeah, it's true.
뭐라고 애 콧대를 꿰나?
Exactly. Your mama maneuvered this whole thing. You should have known that by now, bro. Your mama's a master manipulator.
야, 뭐 무박이나 아니나 뭐 요즘 것들을 하려면 다 하지 뭐.
Just say what you want to say, right? You have a problem? You think I'm not a virgin, even though you're coming to me?
바로 갈라서신 거예요.
Sullied?
갈라서신 거예요.
Thank you. If you're gonna dig up dirt.
너 이런 거 걔도 아세요? 근데 좋다대?
Yeah, he has seen every side of me, thanks.
남의 밥상에 조좀 씨발이 얘라.
The way he just peeled it back.
어디로 가? 갈 데나 있어?
We'll figure it out later.
아시까?
개새끼야.
어디 또 도망가? 또 도둑질해?
너 진짜 그 아저씨랑 살게.
You know you don't want to, girl. That's a lot.
내가 왜 나만 독박 써? 왜 나만 태학이야? 왜 나만 반란까지 년인데?
Exactly. She doesn't want to drag you down. It's not your fault. Stupid system we live in.
나 대학도 보내주고 시인도
He's not going to let you do any of that, ma'am. He's going to knock you up and have you in that house. Hey, son. That was too much.
오빠랑 살면 어차피 도안이면 개잖아.
Words hurt, girl. That was unnecessary.
나 싫다는 집에 얹혀 살면서 눈칫밥 먹는 것도 지긋지긋해.
There is that.
그냥 부자하고 싶어. 편하게 살고 싶어.
Not the money part, but
오빠한테 시집가봐야.
the fact that his family will never accept her.
엄마 너무 보고 싶어. 나 부산 가래.
The way he's just crying with you. Every time you cry, he's crying with you.
오빠 여기 있으면 나 시집 가서도 순탄히 못 살아.
Damn.
오빠가 나 좀 살려줘.
Ooh. Rough.
내가 너를 못 살게 해?
Unfortunately, she thinks so at the moment, but not in the way you think. Stay breaking this poor boy's heart, but I get it, unfortunately.
18 순정을 묻었다.
I had a feeling she'd look for that ring. If you were going to do that, you could have thrown it on that path you were on. Like, you weren't very strategic about that one.
내 팔자를 내가 볶지. 누가 볶아?
난 진짜 엄마처럼은 안 살아.
That's what she said about her mom, too.
조금은 후회해.
So the man she married was that jerk.
내 아빠 안 만났으면 이들 다 없는 걸?
아니, 엄마 말고 오해순으로.
Oh.
귀한 아들 얼른 피난 보냈어. 피난 가주 2주 판서집 며느리를 모셔와야지.
That's right. Guilt them.
예수냐? 너참 용호다. 용해. 무섭기도 용호요.
As long as she's proud of herself.
까딱하면 메달도 따게 생겼었어요.
헛짓거리만 안 하면은 메달이야 따고도 남았지. 그냥
Masterful
4등이 아니라
manipulation.
양가놈들이 그렇다니까. 무슨 말을 하면은 목에 칼이 들어오는 줄 알아요.
Respectfully, do you actually let him get a word in edgewise, though? Son, in fairness, you're a yapper. He loves that about you, though.
너만 나면 다 놓쳐. 집 꿈도 놓치고 가족도 놓쳐.
Maybe
너
he was
외롭게
willing to
살아라 할 거
sacrifice that.
아니냐.
Damn, that was the ultimate manipulation right there. Using her love and twisting it.
네가 걔 좀 살려줘.
However,
어?
I know it's not malicious.
제가
His mom is thinking, what else can I do for my son?
오빠를 못 살게 해요.
Wow. Word for word what he asked her. I knew right then and there, though, she was doing it for him and not for her.
너 금메달 한번 따봐라. 걔 얼굴도 싹 다 까먹어.
This is not the time.
애순이 소원이 섬 뜨는 거라.
그럼 뭐 인생의 파라리 애순이냐?
He's kind of obsessed.
애순이 때문에 백 바퀴 뛰었어요.
Everything he did was driven by his love for her.
그래서 백 바퀴 뛰었지. 어떤 미친놈이 그거 뛰어요. 너 내리. 애순이 아니면 안 했어요.
이
Been
미친놈아.
his motivation for
지금
everything.
서울 왜 가?
Get away from my horrid family.
오빠가 없어야 내가 살아.
Again, he's doing it for a son again. Oh my god.
내가 또 신식이고
Are you? With your sugar addiction?
속은 날 보니까
Well, on the
바지.
good side of things, he might drop dead of diabetes before your next anniversary.
짓불도 없는 게 어디 어른한테 싸가지 없이.
코딱지보단 커요.
Yes. Show some respect, thank you.
어디 어른한테 버르장머리 없이.
어른이 왜 애랑 결혼을 해요?
Ooh!
야,
Clock him!
반말 싫어해요.
That's right.
여보,
Let's get some
정신
things
차려요.
established right now.
너 뭐 저 대학 가려고 시집 오는 거 아니야?
It was the case, but now it doesn't really matter anymore, hmm?
갈 데가
Don't have anywhere else to go.
없어서요.
뭐?
You heard her the first time.
대통령도 5번 해먹을 건데.
Sad how when you're young you just think that everything is possible and the world just can sometimes beat every last piece of hope right out of you.
너는 뭐 될 건데?
A son's husband, that's pretty much it.
돼야 돼.
It's the only thing he's ever wanted was to be with her. I do need him to have bigger ambitions. The first lady! Oh, so cute! Let him be the first lady!
개똥밭에 굴러도 이승이라니까 그냥
내가 개똥밭이다.
You're taking this the wrong way.
식모든 보모든 돈값 다 할게요.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have to get married. Just employ me.
마누라 하나 얻으면 살림 일자리 공짜인데 내가 왜?
That's true. That's exactly why most men get married. They're looking for wives and maids. Time's up. Make a decision.
무박은 아니었던 거고.
Oh my god, get over it. Jesus. And what if she did? What if she did? Miserable thing that you are. You're lucky if you got her, even if she did have a wonderful night with the man she loved. Thank God he didn't hear her. He would actually jump off that boat. Don't jump off the boat, bro. I don't know how good of a swimmer you are, and that water was rough. Damn, that was a hell of a cardio. Don't jump. Don't. I'm serious. You're too far away. Don't jump. He'll drown. Oh God, if he drowns, no. I just thought about that. This is a K-drama. No, please, don't tell me you jumped off and drowned. Exactly. Your fault. And the sad part is they could help them. They're acting like it's so impossible for them to just help them. Oh yeah, the water taking everything. Please, I hope he didn't jump off that boat. Because he's that crazy. Umi's like, okay, that might have been a sign from God. I was just saying. He might, actually. He just might. He's the kind of guy that if they got married, if she died, he would die immediately after.
김웅진이 윤심덕이가 괜히 그출됐나?
I don't like this foreshadowing.
사람 안 죽는다.
You want to bet?
지금 살은 떨어져?
Yeah.
살은 올라가?
Yeah.
나 오빠 첫방
Mm-hmm. That's what you guys get. You guys should have left well enough alone. Damn it! Why did I predict these things so well? He's not gonna make it. That's too far. Oh, wow. This K-drama is actually having mercy on my heart. Thank God. But yes, please make it to shore so I can unclench, because this is a K-drama. Look at his little sister. Up! Could you jump in to meet him halfway, girl? No? I mean, he lives on an island. I think he should know how to swim. Whoa, why would you say that? Shh, tamp down. Is the shore here yet? Okay, I can unclench. Yeah, you have to marry him now, you know that, right? You actually have to marry him. If you don't... Okay, get him warm. Hypothermia next. Let's go.
물어내야 돼.
Right? Yeah.
걔는 뭐래?
몰라. 걔는 각설탕만 처먹어.
Right? Yeah, no, they're kind of soulmates. Deal with it, Grams. Deal with it. That boy almost drowned. Can we stop now? Their faces.
이 하늘님도요. 사실은 막은 거 같지만 못 막은 거예요.
They're all gonna take turns telling you, I love it.
아, 애들 정부에 장사 있어.
That's true, man. Mom especially. That's why I'm looking at you, because you know, it's like you just said, the Yang men, they know what they want. Is that her?
고모 또 취하셨네.
It is her.
그 부산이 웃기지.
가셔, 가. 자, 임나.
Nothing even happened in Busan. Y'all need to drop it.
네가 방을 일찍 뺐잖아. 시골리고 8달 만에 네가 나왔어? 잡기는 이틀 만에 잡았는데.
So they
그러니까
did. Okay. That's why they didn't let her answer the question.
제주 아니고.
I was wondering why they wouldn't let her answer the question that the man kept asking. But they did have alcohol, so I was like,
공부를 다 시키려면 우리가 작전을 잘 짜가지고 살아야 돼.
thank God they got married then. Although I guess she could have passed the kid off on her new husband if she'd gone that route, but
그럼 바쁘네. 바빠.
man said what he said. Yeah, like he's like, not on this dirty floor.
벼룩박에 달린 선풍기 모가지가 뭔 제주로 날라가?
That's how the fan goes.
그거는 양관식의 오해순. 부산의 다이아 소주라고 이제 애들이 고거를.
Okay, that's enough. No kid needs to know all those intimate details about their birth, ever. Do we have 2 kids? 2 kids. Close enough.
하나, 둘, 셋.
Cutie patootie. Yeah, they did not waste time.
지 엄마를 주저앉힌 우리 왼수.
Bigby even knows when you're insulting her. Stop it. She's like, I brought y'all together.
조련이 못해서 슬퍼?
He never wanted the damn metal girl.
금메달이 뭐야? 나는 금명이를 땄는데.
That the golden girl.
19 아빠는 금메달 대신 금명이 아버지가 됐다.
축구 선수가 되려나? 다리가.
Really? Can we let her grow, please? Can we let her hit puberty?
꿈을 꾸는 계절이 아니라 꿈을 꺾는 계절이 없다.
But what? I mean, her dreams were different. But
그렇게도
exactly. Oh, an eternal nostalgia. Cute.
꽃 보면
She gonna find the ring?
첫사랑, 예.
Aww.
그래도 반지 하나는 꼭 좀 해주고 싶어서요.
진짜 비열하네.
But he's cute.
눈 그렇게 뜨지 마라.
But the puppy eyes.
해놓고 가라.
Good job taking them back slowly.
뒷관계 끝에.
Well, that's what he did that morning.
그냥 살만해.
That's right. His mom did ask about the rings.
세반지에 드레스에 아주 어맹란히 시집 가시네. 아이.
Hey, that's a celebrity to your son. Only star he ever cared about.
써. 너 쓰고 싶으면 다
That's
써.
right. Don't listen to her.
그냥 형편되면 나가 살으라고 좀.
Oh, stop whining. You love them.
내 꽁국수 먹으러 안 갈래?
어제도 그거 먹었잖아. 돼지네.
Feed the baby. Shut up. I mean, you didn't know the baby was there yet, but feed the baby. That's right. He said she wants the hat. She'll get the damn hat.
뭔 벌칙이었던
That's what a
거지?
man who loves his wife does. I love that the Henrios are in the wedding picture. Aww. Supporting their girl. Despite how mean her mama was to them. All right, guys. Well, that was a very cute episode. I am glad that, unlike many K-drama that I have watched, we did not go the route of complete and utter disaster. And that my girl actually kind of got the man that she should be with. It's interesting, this episode showing kind of how both of them were trying, well, mostly A-Sun, trying to protect this man that she knows loves her. Like, there's no doubt, right? That's one thing Asun knows for sure. She knows for certain is that Gonshik loves her more than anything. That he is always, as I said in episode 1, he is steadfast. That is the one thing in her life that's been constant, is his presence, his support, his love, his kindness. And I mean, yes, mild obsession, but at least it's a healthy one in this case. It's not a weird or overbearing type. It's literally that whatever it was about Asun, it gripped that kid from a very young age and it never let go. And he just loves everything about her. He loves the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups, the downs. Like, that is genuinely what most of us would want in this world, right? For those of you who found it, congratulations. I love that for you. And for those of us who are still looking, I hope that that's what everyone's looking for, is someone who genuinely sees you, almost all the sides of you, and loves you just the same, and actually loves you because of it, not in spite of it. And that's exactly what Asun had in him. But, his mother was terrifyingly correct in that the best way to potentially break up a situation like that, because she knew her son, right? She said that when she went to go pick them up in Busan, she was like, the Yang men are unbelievably dumb and stubborn. In her words, they're not dumb, but the stubborn part is really where it comes down to, right? She knew that the same way her husband had defied his mother and married her anyway, got her pregnant first too. A little bit of a history repeating itself there. But anyways, the way he was not deterred, she knew her son would never be deterred. And we saw that, right? Despite grandma yelling at him, mom yelling at him, dad yelling at him, my boy just said, yep, and I do it again, basically. Like, whatever she needs, whatever she wants, I will always be there for her. I'll figure it out. I don't know what the heck we're going to do. I don't know how we're going to figure it out, but I'll do it as long as I get to be with her, right? So once they realized that that was not going to be moved, they thought, okay, well, maybe we'll go for the girl. And sadly, his mom was very smart. She knew that, she knew that Asun has always carried shame about herself, right? About her upbringing, about her background, about how poor her family is. And in her particular situation, when she became an orphan, it drives me nuts that in so many societies there has been this history of looking down on orphans. Like, it just blows, like, why are you blaming a child for something outside of their control? All that child did was exist, and you're somehow blaming this child for being left alone in this world, instead of having empathy and sympathy for them being alone in this world so young. You get people judging them and saying that they're bad omens or that they're bad kids, or what, all kinds of nonsense. And it's not just in Asian culture. We used to be this way in the Western culture not that long ago too. But I digress. Poor Asun was carrying around a lot of that societal shame, the feeling of being a burden to everyone around her, when that should not have been the case, because she was a good kid. Like, yeah, she had a temper, she had a bit of a mouth, but she was hardworking, she was tenacious, she was generally respectful, she was a good kid. Most people would have loved to have a child like her, and instead of trying to encourage and support her, I mean, outside of the Henryo women, they were the only ones who've always done their best to support Asun in whatever way they could. I think if it came down to it, one of them probably would have taken her in too if they had to, but Asun also always had her own pride, right? She never wanted to be anyone's burden. But anyway, the mother, Guanchik's mom, knew. She knew that there was a shame there that Asun carried around, and she played to that. She basically found all the weaknesses that she had, and she used them and twisted Asun's love for Guanchik and basically said, like, you're going to hold him back, right? He's going to lose everything. He's going to lose his future. He's going to lose the potential he's got. He's going to lose his family, all of that just for you. And what do you have to offer him, right? And of course, Asun didn't feel like she had anything to offer. Like, one of the reasons she always goes after Guanchik the way that she does and was so, what's the word for it? Combative somewhat towards him was because she felt as though she had no right to be loved by someone like him, right? It was always a protection mechanism. She'd been left by so many people. She'd been abandoned by so many people, but also she knew that Guanchik was this wholesome, good kid with a great heart, and that he did have the potential to maybe not be like, the top level of class and money, but he came from a fairly good family in Jeju, and he was gonna, if he had married somebody of a similar station, they would have had a very lucrative life of inheriting everything that his family had. But she, as an orphan, came with the baggage of that reputation, and sadly no money to offer him, nothing to give as far as like position or status or family name. So she always kind of felt like she wasn't worthy of him, and that's kind of why she was always pushing him away. And waiting for the other shoe to drop, as it were, for him to wake up one day and be like, yeah, why am I with this girl? But that day never came because, as we discovered sweetly in this episode, Guan-shik has never literally seen anything in this world outside of her. He is, as I said, obsessed with that girl. The fact that when he was on that boat and you see his coach being like, look, you're about to go and compete. Here's all these things that could happen. Like if you win, this door could open up, your world could be so, and he was just like, I didn't do any of this because I wanted to. Everything I've ever done has been to either support, care for, or show love to A-sun. My whole world is like, the fact that sun is in her name, that's it for him. That is the sun in his life. That is what he orbits that girl. For him, she is literally all the light and warmth and everything that he wants in this world. As long as he can be in her orbit, he's happy. And so it's, like I said, it's a little dangerous. I'm not gonna lie. Like if it had turned out to be a story where he had gone off and he had managed to, you know, eke out a different life without her, I wouldn't have been against it, in the sense of, I do think being that all-consumingly about somebody is not 100% healthy. Like the love is great. I love that A-sun has someone who's unequivocally in her corner. However, I do think it's important for you to have your own ambitions, and A-sun does have her own ambitions, right? She still loves like words, and she loves writing, and she loves art, and she still wants to, you know, be involved in some form of academia. Like that was still something that was her dream outside of everything. And I do think it would have been nice if he had something outside of just being her husband as his ambition. But it's not the worst thing in the world, by the way. But just saying, it would have been kind of nice if he'd had something for himself. But in a way, the fact that that is what he wanted, hopefully that will mean that he'll never grow to resent her. Or if they do end up having a really hard life, hopefully he'll never look back at it and think, wow, I made a mistake, you know, because that's what happens when people feel like they sacrifice their dreams for something that or if they didn't want to make that sacrifice, like eventually it becomes a resentment. But in his case, we saw that man literally risked life and limb to jump off that boat and swim back to his woman, because when he realized that she wanted him and that she was actually going to take him, like that's all that mattered to him. He didn't care. And I just really like about Guan-shik too, that he's so open. Like this kid has been an open book since he was little. Any emotion he's feeling, he lets it out. If she's crying, he's crying. And I've always said that's actually a really good indicator of whether or not someone genuinely is down for you and in love with you. Ladies, if there's one piece of advice I can give you, if you're dating a man or with a man who does not get very perturbed and upset when you cry, and I'm not talking about women who just, you know, because I know that there's some ladies out there. I know there's some of us that are just highly emotional. I know there's some of us that will cry at a commercial. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking when you're genuinely upset, when you are genuinely burdened, when you are genuinely going through something. We know the difference between a cry because we're having an emotional day versus a genuine cry over something. If you are dating someone or with somebody and your tears do not visibly upset them or make them think, wow, like I need to, you know, what can I do? Like, you know, just be affected. If I see a man watch his wife or partner cry and he is unfazed and he basically is kind of like, yeah, suck it up and move on, run away, break up, divorce, whatever, get away from them. Because anybody who truly loves you should never be okay with you hurting, ever, right? Even if they can't do anything about it, they should be affected by it. And the fact that Guan-shik always shared her tears, the fact that he was there for all of her ups and her downs, like in that speech in the field where he broke his heart like 3 times. And she was like, you've seen all the ugly, you've seen all my bad moments, all my dark sides, all my lows. And, you know, that speech I do think was actually also very truthful, by the way, where she was saying that she kind of hates the fact that this guy has seen her less than pretty moments. But anyway, the fact that when she was talking about all of that and the fact that he was there for all those moments and he was always crying with her. He was always there to comfort her, to be a source of comfort if she wanted it, or just be an ear to hear her while she vented. That meant so much, and it really shows that he genuinely loves this girl and genuinely cares about her. Not just to take care of her, but he genuinely just wanted her to be happy in any way she could be, and he wanted to do anything he could to help facilitate that happiness, right? And so anyway, glad to see that when it was all said and done, that she finally let her pride go. You know, she really did. Okay, I shouldn't say pride. It was a little bit of her pride, yes. I mean, she did say all those things she said in the field, like I said, were actually coming from a true place. Like she really did want to be someone who could come to him from some other place than having nowhere else to go. But also, when she realized that, you know, that this was it, like she was never going to find anybody that loved her the way this man loved her and that she loved him too. Like, this is the one person that's been her anchor all this time. I'm really glad that she realized that she could not marry this man. Even though, yes, the setup would have been okay, she couldn't have married. Plus, thank goodness, actually, she didn't, because now that we find out she was pregnant, that would have been, he would have tossed her out. That would have been horrible, and she would have been on her own with a baby. Oh, I shudder to think. But anyway, yeah, once she realized that that was never going to work for her, that she didn't want to be married in a loveless marriage when she knew what it was to be truly loved by somebody, I'm glad that she was able to kind of let that go and realize that, yeah, maybe things would be hard. Maybe things would not be ideal for either of them, but they would have each other, and that was already going to be more of a blessing than anything else, right? Because I get where everyone was worried. Like, I get even why Guanchik's mom was worried. She was afraid that the grandmother would pull back her blessing, which her son would follow suit, and that they could potentially end up being broke and alone and, you know, not having a lot of support. Because Korean society it can be very harsh, and it was a lot harsher then than it is now. It's societally, I mean. But I just love the fact that, you know, they realized that they have each other, they could make things work, right? Like, that's the whole thing, is that Guanchik was never deterred. He knew that he was risking everything. He knew that he could potentially be cut off from his family, but he also knew that what he felt was right. And he knew that there was nothing wrong with him loving her. And he knew that there was going to change that. And he also knew that they could make things work, like they could figure it out. He can work. He's an able-bodied man. He knew how to fish. He knew how to work fields. He knew how to sell. He had many skills that are very useful for eking out a living. They could have gone to Busan. They could have both worked in a factory if they needed to. Like, the point is, if you really have the will to make it work, you'll find a way. May not be the easiest of ways, but you'll make a way. But anyways, in the end, it's a good thing they stuck to their guns, because we saw in the end that the family just buckled anyway, especially when they saw that he almost drowned to get back to her. And so at that point, yeah, I think his family finally was like, yeah, we got to let this happen. Like, we're never going to break those two up. Short of, you know, getting real nasty, there's no way these two are breaking up. So anyway, and as I said, in the end, thank goodness, because they were going to have a baby. So that would have been very, very awkward. But yeah, very, very cute episode to kind of see what they kind of had to do to be together. And I really love that turned out to be the younger sister who was there, and, you know, their daughter, their eldest daughter. So they had two kids. They got the son, it looks like, and now their daughter. And it's the 90s at this point, and we already know we've seen A-sun as an older person, so we'll have to see what gets us there. But as I said, so far, they said this was the spring, right? This is all about spring. So far, the show has been focusing on the spring months, new life. Spring usually means, you know, freshness, life, newness, good times. I feel like the other seasons are coming. Let's put it that way. This is a K-drama, guys. I've been traumatized by enough of them to know we're not going to have a super sweet show for all of this. I do think we're going to, and that's just the reality, right? Like, right now things are okay, but when's the first test going to come? When are things really going to start to kind of come through for them? I mean, obviously, if they were still together and married into adulthood, now that the two of them are adults and they've got their grown kids, clearly, you know, they did weather a lot of storms. But I'm interested to see kind of where we're going to go from here, because to get married and have a baby within the first year is a lot for anyone. So we'll have to see. Because the thing is, I don't think that A-sun has fully given up on her dreams yet. Like, we heard the daughter say that they both had to break their dreams or break their plans, and they did so happily. But as I said, for A-sun especially, this wasn't all she's ever wanted. Let's put it that way. She wants more than just to be a mother and a wife. And I say just in the sense of because she wants more. There's nothing wrong with just being a wife and a mother. But yeah, I am interested to see what else we're gonna run into now that we've at least gotten past this first hurdle of her finally finding somebody who's truly there for her and only her, and her finally having a family of her own where she belongs there, and no one can ever kind of tell her to get out, you know, for the first time probably in her life now. So yeah, another really cute episode. Loved it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please do show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.